Alright guys, we have a Holden Rodeo today, 2006 model with a 3-liter turbo diesel. Customers' complaint is just lack of power. So let's see if we can diagnose this car. First thing we'll probably do is just take it for a drive. Just trying this spot here. Man, this car is absolutely nothing. No power whatsoever. Just go back to the shop now. I don't see any engine light or anything, so I think first thing we want to do probably put a scan tool. Alright, first thing I want to just do is just go through this report that the Holden dealers, the car dealer has given it to them, and the things they've done. The customers gave me this report from the dealership. Car's been to a few other mechanics prior to that as well, and not sure when it was. It could be related, not related, but they did say the injectors has been replaced as well. I'm not sure whether it's for the same reason or not. The customer told me the fuel tank has been out and cleaned out for bugs, cleaned the tank, new diesel, fuel filters replaced multiple times. So much work has been put on, and also the dealership, I don't know if you can read this handwriting or not, but I'll try to pinpoint the main stuff here. So what it says here is test drove, the engine light comes on and goes out. Check DTC listed below. DTC is P0400. Carried out diagnostic. When DTC is cleared, P0400 didn't reset. Tested EGR, found EGR valve was sticking. Recommend replacing EGR. Then also there's a fault code DTC P0216. Same thing, they test drove it, visually inspected the system, blah blah blah. All filters are replaced, replace the fuel supply, eye bolt, and clean the gauze filter. I think they're talking about the one in the high pressure pump, just a little filter net on that benzo bolt. I think that's what they're talking about here. Gauze filter, gauze filter, sorry. Bleed the fuel system, test drove it, still fault. And also the high fuel pressure pump, is not new. I can't really read. Something to do with the high pressure pump, exchange pump, or replace the pump, something they're talking about there. Diagnostic, oh man, I can't read this. It says needs a new engine computer, ECM, before high pressure pump. DTC P0400, DTC P0216, which is your right here it says DTC2 P016 and P400. 400 is your EGR flow fault, and the other one here is an injection timing control circuit malfunction. I think it's got that fault code as well. So on this other paper from the same dealer, so we got removed passenger seat, remove blah blah blah, replace the ECU, programmed ECU immobilizer, and all okay. So they replaced the ECU, replaced the EGR valve and the gaskets, new EGR stud, test drove it, all okay. Engine light came back on after test drive it. Check codes, and the code P0216, again same code, injection timing control circuit, new injector pump module. So they recommended to replace the new injector pump. I think it cost them already $2,500 according to the customer. Just doing that ECU, EGR and all that diagnostic work that Holden's has carried out, and they also want them to replace the fuel pump module now, but I don't think they have done that so far. So basically the car's got absolutely no power, gutless, and all these jobs has been carried out, but problems still there. So we're gonna just try to diagnose this car today. Alright, I got my scan tool already hooked up. Alright, we go to, I've already selected the car here. We got no trouble codes. There's a trouble codes for immobilizer or no or wrong signal. I do not think that's related to our problem. All I'm interested is in live data at the moment. None of the fault codes they're talking about is coming on at the moment. So let's start the car. Actually, yeah, let's start the car and we'll just go through everything here, what we can see on the scan tool quickly. Basically all I'm interested here is in maybe turbo pressure, airflow sensor and all that. Just going through all the data, all the list here, see what we got. Engine idle's fine, there's nothing wrong with the idle, but just absolutely no power. So just to quickly verify, maybe we'll go and have a look at this fuel quantity injection. Let's see what it does. So we'll just graph that quickly. And we're just trying to rev it like there's absolutely no power. Even on when you're revving it, absolutely no power. I think it's got a problem with the clutch too. It's got a bit of a noise, but as you can see here, they're both sort of the desired injection quantity and the injection quantity pretty much lining up. Like obviously it's a little bit less than the desire, as you can see, but definitely it's getting up there. It's reacting to the fuel quantity demand. Alright, let's just try a few more times here. So you can just watch these two numbers here, or the graph. See, I'm trying to rev it, and both the desire and the actual injection quantity is going up. So it makes me believe there's nothing wrong with the fuel supply or the fuel side. Anyway, so let's go back and have a look at the... Okay. Let's go ahead and have a look at this mass airflow. I did not see manifold pressure sensor on this live data. Maybe this engine doesn't have manifold absolute pressure sensor, so maybe just off the mass airflow sensor. Maybe. Let's go here and let's have a look. So we got a desired mass airflow sensor of 540. And we got a mass airflow sensor of 460. It's already looking less. I'm already suspecting mass airflow sensor fault here, guys. Let's rev it, see what it does. Let me graph that. Let's make it a little bit easier. just a preference. You don't have to. Alright, I'm gonna just rev it now. Alright, let's pause that. I'll just turn this car off quickly. See, we got mass airflow sensor desired is about 1500, and we're only getting about 541 on full wide open throttle. That's already suggesting it's something wrong with that mass airflow sensor. It is working, it is reacting, but definitely it could be a dirty mass airflow sensor, or could be just a bad mass airflow sensor. Now, if the turbocharger is not making boost, that can also give you sort of like a similar problem too. I'm leaning towards that as well. Yeah, but judging by these numbers on the mass airflow sensor, I believe there's something wrong with the mass airflow sensor. Let's go under the hood and see what we can find there. Alright, we're under the bonnet now. That's where your mass airflow sensor is. Now, I had a look on the intake side and I couldn't see the manifold absolute pressure sensor, so I think this engine doesn't have a manifold absolute pressure sensor. Now, before we start testing a mass airflow sensor, I quickly want to verify the turbo, whether it's making the pressure or not. You can always put the gauge and check what's the actual boost pressure and all that is, but the quickest way you can do to verify if there's some sort of pressure in the from the turbo, we can start the car and we can check on this intercooler hose going into the intake from the turbo. We can quickly verify that. I'm going to do that quickly. So basically we're just going to start the car, and then what I'm going to do is just squeeze this hose like that and just rev the car. Let's quickly turn the car off. So basically I just squeezed the hose, and as I was revving it and the pressure is building in the intercooler hose, it was pushing my finger away, as in the hose was getting pressurized. So that way, as a quick way to verify if the turbo is making any pressure or not, to me it looks like it is, but it takes a lot of time to get to the higher revs. So the turbo pressurizing, the pressure from the turbo is also very, very slow to build up, which makes sense the car is not revving. Now, next thing I want to do is check the mass airflow sensor, because I really think it's the mass airflow sensor that's causing this problem. So we're going to do all that testing there. All right. Quick and dirty test you can do is you can always unplug the mass airflow sensor and see if that makes any difference. So I'm just going to probably do that. Is off now. Let's see if this engine revs any better now. That engine is revving better already. It's very responsive, and I can feel it's definitely changed than what we had. so just disconnecting the mass airflow sensor, what's happening is the computer is putting the system in a default mode, like a backup strategy. If the sensor goes bad, the car still needs to be driven, like in a limp home mode, or somehow the car needs to get to the mechanics or home. So computer puts a default strategy in it, and you can still drive the car, right? So that's what we did. We quickly disconnected it, and the car already revved better. It's already making me think that the mass airflow sensor has the problem in this car. So next thing, we'll probably maybe do a scope, just to see what sort of volt is coming out of that mass airflow sensor. Maybe do that. So I'll just plug that back in. I'll have to quickly set up my scope. I'm pretty sure the green wire here at the very end is the signal for the mass airflow sensor. Okay. And now I'll just get you focused on the screen now. I would just set this to maybe, this is a hot wire type mass airflow sensor, so it's ±5 volt. All right, and we'll just change the time scale down to maybe even 1 second. I don't really need to see too much, maybe even less. It's not really a very fast signal, so. All right, I'm gonna start the car now. With the engine running, it's a little bit dirty signal, but that should do for what we are doing here. Just a quick and easy dirty test. It's idling at around 2 volts, let's say, roughly. I'm just gonna rev this engine now, see what it picks at. As you can see, I'll just pause this. As you can see, we have around 3. I'll just bring this cursors. Let's measure this voltage. So it's peaking about 3.3 volts. That's me giving it a really hard time, like revving really hard. But look how long it took to get to that voltage. Yeah, I think it's looking like a dirty mass airflow sensor or just a bad airflow sensor. So next thing I want to do probably is take it off and see if I can clean it. I'll just take the whole thing out. Clamp off. Alright, that's your mass airflow sensor. It's got a little net set up at the front and back. Can't really see too much with that net there. Yeah, not much I can see from here. I may have to take these screws and take it off. I might do that. Has a special five point like a Torx bit. Right, that's our mass airflow meter there, and let's trim that back out a bit. Yeah, I don't know, I don't really see it's being dirty, or yeah, it doesn't look like anything really wrong there, to be honest. I'm just gonna give it a clean anyway, but like I said, I don't really see anything wrong. Now guys, some airflow meter you can clean them, some you can't clean them. So I just give it a quick spray anyway, see if that makes any difference. So we'll just put it back again. Alright, I'm not worried about the clamp just yet. I'm going to start the car and see what it does. It did not make much difference here, guys. I'm just gonna quickly focus you on that scan tool so you can see that data at the same time. Alright, I'm just gonna rev this engine and we can see what's the numbers on the mass airflow sensor. Yeah, you can see on the scan tool, this is the desired mass airflow. Up here is what's the actual mass airflow sensor is doing. Man, it's barely moving off over 500, maybe 600 we got at one stage. Let's go back on that where I'm started revving it. Let's go on that peak value where your desire is 1400. And actually it's sitting about 580, 590. So definitely cleaning didn't help. I remember having this sitting on the shop for a long time. I think I just used it for testing. I got it off some car, or I don't know, at some point I changed the mass airflow sensor for a customer. I don't remember where it came from, but it's the same one, guys. I think I'm just gonna swap this quickly. Right, let's put that on and let's see if that makes any difference. Alright, I'm just going to rev the car now. that's already better. It's so responsive, it revs pretty fluent, very easily. So I think we did make an improvement here. Let's see what the data's doing on the scan tool. What this data doing when I'm revving it. The engine revs really easily now. Let's just pause that. And let's go back to where we were revving this. Yeah, I can see definitely the numbers are much higher at the top here. It's hitting about 700, 800 there as I was revving the car. 850. So definitely it's hitting about 900, almost 850. Still, if you look at the bottom, the the computer desires 1350, but we're only getting 825. So, but the engine revs good now. So I'm thinking maybe this mass airflow sensor also has some problem, like not as bad as the one we were testing. This mass airflow sensor made a lot of improvement there. So what I'm going to do probably, guys, I'm going to take it for a drive and see if all the powers are back. If it is, then we're going to need a new mass airflow sensor for this car. Alright, we're going to take it for a drive with our second-hand mass airflow sensor. It's pretty dark out there, so you might not be able to see the road, but I'll just explain to you everything. Oh man, that's a lot better. It's already got a lot of power, a lot of improvement there. Let's take it out on the road. That is a lot better. I can at least drive it now. We can get up to speed. I'm about doing 80, 90 kilometers an hour. Man, this engine needs a new mass airflow sensor. That's it. Just going back to the shop. It's got plenty of power, no problem whatsoever. Alright guys, that's it. So just check your basics, man, before you start putting parts, expensive parts. Like the Holden dealer put ECU, EGR valve. Some of the mechanics put injectors. Fuel tank's been out a few times. Fuel filters, man. All that because of mass airflow sensor, and that should be the first thing you should check when you have a lack of power complaint of any car, to be honest, these days. So anyway guys, hope you guys learned something and enjoy the video. I'm gonna wrap it up now. I'll see you next time.